Good afternoon, everyone. It is 4 minutes after 12 o'clock. You're listening to Intermezzo on Winnipeg's Classic 107. I'm your host, Claudia Garcia de la Huerta. That was the beautiful sounds of the Orontes Guitar Quartet, who will open the 2019-2020 Winnipeg Classical Guitar Society's International Artist Series tomorrow night, along with Iqui Vinculado. Formed in 2015 in University in Beirut, the quartet has defied all odds to create careers as concert guitarists in their homeland of Syria and throughout the Middle East. They appeared with the Syrian Philharmonic on Syrian MTV and Sky Arabia. They appeared with the Syrian Philharmonic as well. Please welcome, if you guys want to look at the camera there, Gaby, Orwa, Nazir, and Mir. Did I get everyone?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, for our first 107 Live here in the Classic 107 studios. So welcome and thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so introduce yourself to everybody.
I'm Orwa. We are Orontes Guitar Quartet.
You can pull up the mic,
Right,
whatever's more comfortable for you here.
Just like that?
Yep, there you go.
All right, that's better.
Okay, so you guys have come a long way. You tell me about the story. Tell me where the story of the quartet begins.
Well, it began in Beirut in 2015. We've been attending a workshop called Yes Academy Lebanon there, and we've met a guitarist from the US called Susan McDonald. So we told her that we want to do something. We're living and we can't do anything with our music, so we want to do something. So she suggested that we form a trio or a quartet, and we decided to go with a quartet. And when we went back to Damascus, we started looking for a fourth member because we were me and Nazir and Gaby there. So we decided that Mir is going to be the fourth member.
So you guys, the three of you knew each other at university, were studying together. And
yeah.
Now, was your plan to pursue solo careers, or did you think, no, I want to be part of an ensemble?
Well, the ensemble thing wasn't something we thought about before until we formed each other. We formed the quartet and we started playing with each other.
And then the magic happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens now? You go back home. What happens then?
After we went back from Beirut, we started playing together, practicing, and we published our first recording. It was a small piece for Susan. Then we started working on our first concert, and we did in Mother's Day in Syria. It was 21st of March, 2016. And we started doing too many concerts there in Syria, around the country, until we did our last concert, which was with the Syrian Philharmonic Orchestra. We did the Concerto Andalus by Rodrigo.
Oh, beautiful work.
So that's another story. So before the concert, 15 minutes before the concert starts, a mortar shell landed at the entrance of the opera house there. There was a few injuries, but after thinking for about 30 minutes, so what we're gonna do now, and we asked the conductor there. He didn't know first if we're gonna just do it later or proceed with the concert. Then we decided to do it, and we did it with half empty hall.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and things don't get better, obviously.
Well, they didn't get better. No, things start getting worse and worse and worse until we were unable to play anymore together. So Nazir went to Lebanon first because all of the others have military service there because they have brothers. So there is no way of staying in the country anymore. So they decided to go to Lebanon, and I waited there. I don't have brothers, so I waited. Then Susan reached out to us again and sent us a link to an organization called the APF. It's an initiative by the International Institute of Education in the US, and it's funded by Andrew Mellon Foundation. So they sent us the link and said apply. So we applied and we got accepted. and they started like they how they work is they look for hosts around the world for like mainly in the US, and they place the artists in these hosts. So they started looking in the US, but there was the travel ban
Right.
by President Trump. So this is not a chance, like not a choice to be in the US. So until Susan reached out to Alexander Dunn, he's the professor, the guitar professor at the University of Victoria, and they was like they studied together with Romero. So she reached out to him and told him about the story and everything, and then he told the University of Victoria about that, and the University of Victoria decided that they're gonna be our host. So like the coordination started with the APF and the University of Victoria until we started with the visa process, which is another story by its own.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
So this is where the Artist Protection Fund Fellowship Grant comes into play.
Yeah, exactly.
Which you guys were awarded in 2018 by the University of Victoria, that brought you here as their ensemble-in-residence.
Exactly.
Now, I understand one of you was quite injured.
Yeah, it was Nazir. So there was a rehearsal at my place actually, and I've been waiting for the guys there. So they were going to meet each other and come together to my place. So Nazir was waiting for Gaby and Mir, and at that moment, like mortar shell landed at the area where he was waiting, and he was injured by a shrapnel.
Not just
in
anywhere,
his elbow.
but yeah,
in his elbow. So he just left his guitar there and took a taxi just to the hospital. And when the guys heard about it, they called him, and the doctor answered. He said calm down. Your friend was injured, but he's okay now, and we're looking after him at the hospital and all of that. They went to the hospital, and he said, I want my guitar. So Mir went back to the area there to get the guitar, and he found that an old woman is sitting there with the guitar and waiting for him to come and take it.
You can't make these things up.
No.
Seriously. Well, I'm so happy to see you here all in one piece.
Oh, yeah.
I just, for people that can't grasp what it's like to come from a place of war, how, as artists, do you keep that dream alive? At what point do you go, okay, forget it, I just need to stay alive?
Well, that's a difficult question. I don't know, but with everything that happened, we just kept practicing, always kept practicing and playing together, and we wanted to do everything. And sometimes we did things just canceling a job we have because we have to practice together just to go with the quartet. So I don't know, we were just motivated to it.
You were focused.
Yeah, we wanted to do it.
That was your dream, and that's what kept you going.
Yeah.
And can I ask your families, are they all okay, or where are they?
Yeah, they are all there, and they're all okay.
Good,
yeah.
Good. So now what happens? What's next for you guys?
Well, returning to Syria is still not an option. It's still dangerous there, so we're gonna find a way to extend the residency here in Canada.
And more performances? Are you planning on touring?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, any plans yet, or?
Not yet, but
in the works.
Of course, but our main focus now is to extend the residency that we have.
Right.
Because it is the most important thing.
Well, I'm so glad to see you guys here in Canada.
Thank you.
And has it been a bit of a culture shock for you guys?
Not much. We grew in an open-minded society.
I think I was thinking more about the weather.
Well, Victoria is not very different from Syria, so
we'll have to bring you here in the middle of January and February.
Well, we've been to Alberta in February, so
there you go. You know. And so, what will you be performing Saturday night for the opening concert?
It's gonna be a mixture of classical music, some Baroque music, and some Spanish music, and there's gonna be some Like a piece contains a lot of genres like jazz, blues, and
Nice.
country. Like it's all in one piece. Like we're gonna do everything, but not Oriental music.
Okay.
No.
Is there a certain type of era or genre of music that you guys prefer, or do you guys fight about it? Or
Well, actually, each one of us prefer a kind of music. Like Gaby prefers Oriental music, Mir prefers jazz, and Nazir plays flamenco, and I love classical music. But like the quartet mainly is classical.
what about Middle Eastern classical composers? Do you delve into any of that?
I don't think there
Nothing?
are Middle Eastern classical
Nothing?
composer. No,
But Middle Eastern music at all?
there
or-
are Middle Eastern music, but we don't play it on the
Okay.
guitars because like it's Middle Eastern, so it needs
Okay.
Middle Eastern instruments.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay. All right. Well, can you guys play one more piece for us?
Yeah, of course.
What will you play?
It's called Nebula by a Belarus composer called Olga Amelkina Vera.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah. So
I've been talking with the Orontes Guitar Quartet. They'll be performing tomorrow night as the opening concert for the Winnipeg Classical Guitar Society's International Artist Series. Get your tickets. The concert is happening, as I said, tomorrow night. I'll give you all the details just as soon as when they're done playing. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, whenever you're ready. Just gorgeous, all the way from Damascus, Syria, via Victoria. That was the Orontes Guitar Quartet right here on Winnipeg's Classic 107. They open the Winnipeg Classical Guitar Society's season, the 2019-2020 season, along with solo guitarist Iqui Vinculado from the Philippines. This is going to be just an outstanding evening of music. The concert is tomorrow night. Tickets are just $20 at 8 o'clock. Precious Blood Church at 200 Kenny Street. If you'd like more information about the concert, go to winnipegclassicalguitarsociety.com and you can link to it from classic107.com.
107 Live is Classic 107's intimate concert series from the Classic 107 studios in downtown Winnipeg. Tune in for live performances by artists in all genders of music, from national and international greats to the stars of Winnipeg schools, orchestras, choirs, and performers. Check classic107.com for all the details. 107 Live.